So I have spent years studying reincarnation, and here's what most people get wrong. They think it's all about past lives and karma. But what if I told you that reincarnation is actually more like a game that you're playing right now? Before you were born, you chose your character, your personality, your strengths, your weaknesses. You designed the obstacles you would face. You selected the other characters in the game, your family, your relationships. You even chose your starting location. And here's the wild part. You also gave yourself lifelines, a guidance system, cheat codes, invisible support, so that when things got hard, you would have everything you needed to help you navigate through. And then you were born, and you forgot all of it. Let me show you how the game actually works so that you can level up faster and switch into easy mode. Okay, so this is part one of like a multi-part series, maybe 14, where I go through each one of these aspects and really dig in. But this one's going to give you the big picture overview and get you started on this journey of life. Think of it like a complete manual for being a human. So in the series, first we're going to go through all of the things about how you set up the game, right? Your character, the other players, the challenges and the lessons you selected. Then we're going to move into playing the game. So as you're living life, the things that you can do to level up, to call in those cheat codes and the guidance system and the invisible friends to help things get a little easier. And then at the end of the series, we're going to talk about how you can actually win at this game of life and reincarnation so that you don't have to keep on coming back over and over again. So each video is going to be building on the last one. So you're going to want to collect the whole series. So go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell so that you can have the full roadmap to this game of life and reincarnation. So let's start with the foundation. Why are we here? Why do we do this reincarnation game? And what exactly is reincarnation? So at its face value, reincarnation is the concept that we are soul, right? There's something about us that is immutable, that is everlasting. It gets born from body to body to body. But as you get reincarnated, you bring something with you. You're not starting over as a blank slate. You are the player that gets placed into these various different characters. And as you go through life, you carry with you your strengths, your skills, the things that you collect and hone in previous lives. But you also carry with you the pain, the wounds, the fear that you've experienced in previous lives because you are looking to heal them and clear them in this life so that you don't have to bring them into the next one. But overall, the big picture, the big reason why we do this is because we want to remember that we are source, that we are God, that we are the universe, that we are divine. So that basically the idea is that God, and I'll use the word God just for simplicity's sake, broke off little pieces of itself into little sparks and put them into human beings. And that is us. We are those sparks of God. And the whole point of all of this is for us to get into alignment with our true divine nature. And I know what you're thinking. If we were that way originally, why go through all of this drama? Why forget it all just to remember what we knew once upon a time? And the reason is because we, as God, we wanted to fully understand ourselves because we were this glorious being of light, but we didn't really know what that meant. So this is a journey of God, us as God, understanding who we really are so that we go through the experience to understand ourselves as love by experiencing the opposite of it. When we experience the opposite of love, or whatever it is we're trying to learn, then we have a more deeper, fuller understanding of what that is. You may have had the experience about going to another country, and once you go to another country, you more fully understand and appreciate and see and have perspective of your home country and where you're from. So that's basically what we're doing here. We left home so that we could really understand what home was, and home being our divine natural self. Okay, so that's the big overall reincarnation quest, right? To get back in alignment with our true nature. But in each of our lives, we have subquests. We have things that we are working through in this round. I'm going to call a life a round in this game analogy. So in this round, you have 3 objectives. One is to balance out karma. In previous lives, you did things because you didn't remember who you were, and you were caught up in the biology of the human body, which has its challenges, has its selfish tendencies, everything that evolved to be to help it survive. Or another person caused harm to you. Or maybe simply it wasn't even about harm. Maybe there was just simply an imbalance, that you gave too much or received too much. Karma is really about balancing. Karma is not about punishment. Karma is something that we choose to live out because the universe wants balance. So when we in a previous life were in a state of imbalance, we think, okay, well, here's a new life. This is my chance to get back into balance. 2, you had lessons that you wanted to learn. This is really important. We're going to do a whole video just digging into lessons and how to figure out what those are. But essentially, you came in because you wanted to understand something like compassion or power or interdependence. There's a whole long list, but there's some lesson that you thought, this life, this time of history, this gives me the opportunity to really understand this one particular thing. And I want to understand this one particular thing because it will help me level up my consciousness. Because by understanding this thing, I'm going to get in a higher state. I'm going to get in a state that's more in alignment with who I naturally am. So I really want to learn this particular lesson, or 2 or 3, maybe even up to 5 if you were really ambitious. Then 3 is your purpose. Before you came into form, you also selected a purpose, something that you wanted to give. It's really about how you want to express your light in the world. This may be through a job or some sort of a role that you play that you get money for, but not necessarily. Sometimes this might be being a mother. Sometimes this might be just the fact that you take care of the neighborhood stray cats. It can show up in a variety of different ways. Whatever made sense to you and how you wanted to express your light into this world to make it a brighter place. And often how this works is whatever lesson it is that you're working on, you're often taking that and you're transforming that into the gift that you're giving to the world. So for example, let's say you are learning about love in this life. Maybe you're learning about how to love yourself. And so then through your work, once you get into your purpose, you're teaching other people about how they can love themselves. You're taking what you're learning and you're sharing that with the world at large so that you can level up not only your own consciousness, but the consciousness of the planet. We are all one. So when you level up, I level up. So when we all level up, hurrah, then we're really on the path that we all are wanting to go on. So in every game, right, there is a main objective or a quest, if you like. Maybe you're rescuing the princess, you're fighting the dragon, whatever it might be, there is some main goal that you have that you're going towards. And your character, all the abilities that you might have, the skills, the strengths, the little mini challenges you experience, is all leading up to that main quest that you're working on. So there you are. Before you jump into this round, this game, you know that you've got this objective. You know you have this karma to balance. You know you have this purpose. So you're setting up your game. You are going to set up your character. You're going to look at the other characters you're going to play with and to see how they can trigger different wounds, different obstacles in order to help you grow or learn or shift in some way. You're also going to pick your location, your starting location, the country that you're in, the culture, your economic class, because each one of those things creates a game setting that makes you more aware of particular aspects or features that are going to help you be successful in this round. So let's dig into an example. Let's say you wanted to learn compassion. And so you perhaps set up the game so that there was a lack of compassion. And you looked at the family characters that you were going to be playing with, and you picked characters that lacked compassion because that's part of their soul journey. Maybe you experienced a lot of criticism, and maybe that criticism really provided you with a lot of opportunity to understand the opposite. So perhaps you also chose a culture where criticism was a norm in that culture so that you were experiencing it on that level as well. All of these things set up the game in order to kick off the quest. So then your quest begins. You have your family situation, you've got your wounds that have been triggered, and you go off into the world to find your purpose, to learn your lessons, to balance your karma. But you aren't struggling through this on your own. You also have those lifelines to help you along the way. If you want to level up and run life on easy mode, it is really important to tap into these cheat codes. So you have a built-in guidance system in your player. That is your intuition. That is your emotions. Your emotions will tell you a lot if you're getting hot or if you're getting cold. And there are synchronicities that will show you the way forward. If certain things keep on coming up multiple times, it's like a clue, like, hey, this is the way the gameplay is supposed to go. Follow these little Easter eggs. But then you also have a support team as well. You have spirit guides. I've talked about those before. You can ask them for help at any point. They are helping you in subtle ways. You can actively engage with them to help you as you're playing this game. And then there are also like tools in your little toolkit, in your little backpack. Things like music. Like we know how music can be really helpful for us. Getting out into nature, energy work. You know, I'm a big fan of energy work that can really help move things energetically out of your experience. And even prayer. Prayer can be very helpful to help you get the support that you need as you play this game. If you are looking to make things a little bit easier, using some of these resources that are available to you can help smooth things. And whatever it is that you're drawn to is a good way to move forward on that. Before you were born, you looked at your soul's evolution and you said, these are the things that I want to learn. You are not powerless here. You are the player. You are even the designer. Life is happening for you to help you in your soul evolution. And the obstacles and challenges that you experience become puzzles. When you come into this knowing that you are a player playing this game, you can start to crack the code on these puzzles and move through them more quickly, and then start to really be able to enjoy life and create it more intentionally so it looks like the game that you really do want to play. So that's just the beginning. That's just the foundation. That's the big picture overview. We are going to be diving in to all these little pieces so that you can really make this life game work for you. This video is part of a maybe 14-part series. We're going to see how it evolves as it goes along. That really is going to help you learn how to play this game of life. This is going to be the most complete framework about how reincarnation and your life works, but done in a way that makes it a little bit more fun and lighthearted. Like, let's have fun. Life is hard enough, right? When we start leaning into this game metaphor, it just makes it a little easier to get through day by day and not take everything quite so seriously. So again, Subscribe, hit the bell so that you can find out when the next episode comes out. And drop me a comment below to let me know what one aspect of the game are you really wanting to have a deeper understanding of. So remember, you are not lost. You are not broken. You are exactly where you need to be. And now you're learning how to play the game consciously. Let's do this.